G'day mates. Everybody should have an impressive deadlift, even if you've got a bad back. I used to ride motorcycles and occasionally crash them. I've done a fair bit of damage to my back over the years, but I've still been able to develop quite a good deadlift, even post that injury. Now, my impressive deadlift, or your impressive deadlift, might not be as big or as impressive as someone else's deadlift. Not all of us are going to be like orangutans with long arms and tiny legs. Not all of us are going to have a 400 kilo deadlift, but you're still going to get that same great feeling when you lift a heavy weight. There's something about lifting a heavy deadlift that when you get it to the top just makes you feel like a superhero. So let's go through all the steps now to help build up your deadlift to something that impresses you. Starting with your back. Now, deadlift is in fact a leg exercise, but we're really involving our back in a big way. This is where the risk comes in. We want our back to be strong, sturdy, and immobile. We can have a bit of an arch, that's okay. We can have a little bit of flex, that's fine, but we don't want any bending happening in our back. A bend in our back is one thing, bending in our back is a different story, because when our back is bending during the lift, that's when that risk of injury occurs. Think of your back the same way you think of your bicep. If my bicep is nice and tense in its strongest position, it can hold quite a bit of weight comfortably. But as that bicep has to now stretch out under that same load, that is when I'm risking injury. The same thing is going on with your back. So the first thing we really want to do is lock that back down and make sure we've got all the muscles involved there nice and strong. So step one, lactivation or lat activation. We're going to make sure that we're getting our lats compacted. I always say your lats are like your seatbelt in the car. They're going to keep your body nice and safe. So if we can get our lats involved, we're keeping our whole body nice and safe. We've got a great lat activation exercise here. We can use bands or we can use a cable machine. So I'm going to make sure I'm bringing the bar to my shins and I just want to be holding it against my body the entire way through my regular deadlift style. Now we can choose to do a Romanian or straight leg deadlift, keeping the bar against ourselves the entire way, or a straight leg deadlift. But it just helps to really make sure we're keeping those lats nice and engaged. And both of these are going to help us to really cue up and activate these lats. And now for the other stabilizing internal structures for our back, we want to do simple brace and side brace. You don't even have to get down on the ground to do these exercises. Start on your hands, just with a bench or something comfortable. Make sure you're really tucking your hips up and under, like you're trying to pull the front of your pelvis up towards your rib cage. We're not letting our bum hang up. We don't want to be sitting on our hip flexors. We really want to make sure it's our core doing its job here. From here, if we're comfortable, we're going to come down to our elbows. Again, focusing on tucking those hips underneath. Really try and pull the front of your pelvis up into your armpits. But just like any other muscle, it's going to start to fatigue. And when you feel your form start to fail, stop. Then we have our side brace. Again, I'm just trying to pull my bottom hip up into my armpit. Now the next one's a little bit controversial. Straps or no straps? Now, I'm going to say use your grip. Don't use straps when you're trying to learn and increase your deadlift, especially if you're worried about your back. Your grip's going to let you know how much force you can put into that lift. If you can hold the bar, then you can safely lift it. That neuromuscular feedback you get from your hands is super important for letting the rest of your body know exactly how much force it can put through into the ground to help get that bar away from it. Improve your grip strength at the same time as you're improving your deadlift power. Once you are dead set confident in your deadlift form and your back, and you're starting to reach weights that aren't humanly possible to hold on to, go ahead and start lifting with straps. But before then, it's much safer learning to deadlift and increasing your deadlift while letting your hands do the work. And then when it comes to grip, I want you to grip the bar as hard as you can. I want you to leave your fingerprints on the metal. I want you going absolutely white knuckle on that bar. Because when you're squeezing that bar as hard as you can, that's also telling the rest of your body it is time to go. Finally, we've got all the technique there. What do we do in terms of the weight? Start really light. If you can do a deadlift with correct form, with a very light weight, without losing your balance, then you've got full license to start increasing. So go a plate or a half plate at a time and keep building up until you start to struggle. And all you need to watch for with your form is your back staying rock solid, or is it starting to bend during the lift? Are your knees starting to try and pull towards each other, or is your bum doing all of its work? And start enjoying your deadlifts. There is no better feeling than getting that bar off the ground and getting it all the way to your hips. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.